It's time for the MotoAmerica AMA North American Road Race Championship, our second round of 7 for 2026 for Mission King of the Baggers. We're at Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta, for the MotoAmerica Superbikes at Road Atlanta weekend here in Braselton, Georgia. The sun is shining, the temperature's up, so is the competition, as we are looking forward to getting our third race of the season underway. Welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Greg White, standing alongside two-time national champ Jason Pridmore. So Jason, we kicked off the season at Daytona, and there was a lot of questions to be answered. However, the answers at Daytona don't necessarily translate to the answers for the rest of the season.
Well, like you say, Greg, Daytona is such a special place. It's so different. But when we heard that Vance and Hines was taking over the Factory Indian project this year, we knew that Hayden Gillum was going to be the first guy that was going to be excited about that. And he proved his worth right off the bat at round 1 at Daytona.
Let's take you back in time to Daytona and take a look at what happened in race 1 and 2.
Yeah, we're going to have a good look here at race number 1. It was Kyle Wyman who's had so much success on that Harley-Davidson down at Daytona. You're going to see gets into the International Horseshoe a little bit sideways. It was only a lap or two later, Greg, we saw him get in there a little bit deep, which allowed Herfoss and Rocco Landers to go through. But this guy was streaking out at the front. He was absolutely gone. Rocco eventually ended up falling out of that race. It was Herfoss and Kyle Wyman that would round out that podium. But for Vance and Hines, what a way to start the season. In race 2, Greg, it looked like it was going to be absolutely much of the same. Hayden Gillum was gone. His bike broke. That gave us a 3-rider race at the front, and it was going to be Troy Herfoss that would go on to dedicate that race win to Hayden Gillum, who he felt did all the hard work. It was going to be a 1-2 again for Vance and Hines, as you see Rocco Landers beat Kyle Wyman to the line for second.
And Jay, this really doesn't answer the questions that we have, which is how far along has Vance and Hines Indian taken this program? But so far this weekend, Hayden Gillum has been fast here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta.
Yeah, and I believe it was you that told me that he was some 13 mile an hour quicker than the bike he rode here last year, which was then a Vance and Hines Harley-Davidson. So, you know, it's a new project for Terry Vance and that whole team, but they've kind of stepped it up, and it looks like they've made some big steps.
There's a lot of development that happens with these Mission King of the Baggers, Jay. So do you feel like maybe with the change in the offseason that all of a sudden Vance and Hines becomes the Factory Indian motorcycle team, that maybe Harley-Davidson is on their back foot, or Daytona we really can't see?
No, I agree with you. I think the Harley-Davidson right now, I mean, just seeing from what we saw at Daytona to coming to Atlanta, and the Indians have been pretty good here as well so far. I think that you're right. Harley's got to get back to work, and this is that rival we've talked about so long, and I think Harley right now is on that back foot just a little bit.
And you know what? We've been coming here to Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta since 2022, and here's a look at the winners. So Kyle Wyman has dominated the races we've had overall, but keep in mind in 2024, Troy Herfoss was able to do the double, and of course that Loris Baz win in 2025 was a little misty here, but it looks like we're going to have great sunshine for the race here today. It's Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Jason, a natural road course, one of our favorites. Take us for a little lap around.
Yeah, you're looking down there at turn number 1 as we get a look here at that track map. Fast turn 1 up into a very single file kind of road through 3, 4, all the way down to 5. Those S's here at Atlanta, very famous. By the time you get to turn 7, Greg, you've got to get tucked in down that back straight. These bikes are going to be drafting at probably well over 170 mile an hour through that kink in turn 9 into another heavy braking section into turn 10, and then a very heavy braking section down into turn 12 to a short run to the checkered flag.
So that's Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, and we are moments away from... So here we go. We're getting ready to get this race underway. A 9-lap affair on deck with this grid set. Hayden Gillum on pole, Rocco Landers, and Troy Herfoss. Upper left part of your screen, when these lights go out, we're getting after it. There we go. Good launch from the front row, but it looks like it's going to be Troy Herfoss who takes off like a shot. And is the 17 going to lead us into turn number 1 and up the hill? He does.
Hayden Gillum's ability to just let off the brakes on the 69. He did the same thing this morning in our little quick race that they did this morning, the Mission Kings quick race this morning. So Gillum just did the same thing again. He rode around the outside of guys down into turn 1. And I'm just trying to see who that is in third at the moment, Greg, because I know it's another Indian, but I don't think it's Rocco. Rocco got a bad start. So
that's going to be the 29 Tyler O'Hara on the FTI Racing machine.
So another Indian, and Tyler O'Hara has come through from 7th on the grid. 29 is moving forward, and then you see a string of a couple of factory Harley-Davidsons, and then I believe it's Rocco Landers who just had a problem getting that thing off the line and got kind of swallowed up before turn 1.
Looks like a replay of our Mission Challenge race between the top 2, the 17 and the 69. But in that race earlier today for a $5,000 dash for cash, Troy Herfoss went to turn number 10, tucked the front. Don't think he's going to be doing that this time, but he's got his teammate Hayden Gillum, who has been the standout all weekend. So here they go into turn number 10 for the first time. Nice and tidy for the 17 for the most part. A little bit wide, but he's good. Hayden Gillum looking for a way around. And here comes Gillum.
Wow.
He's going to try the inside on the way down the hill. No, not this time.
Kind of wonder if that's not a teammate. If that's not a teammate, he might have gone for that one. Oh, who's that, Greg? Is that Kyle Wyman?
It is. It looks like
Kyle Wyman is down in the last corner.
Your number 1 plate, Kyle Wyman, on that Harley-Davidson Dynojet Factory Racing Road Glide is down, and a mistake in the final corner, number 12 for Wyman, as he tried to pick that 620-pound plus motorcycle out of the kitty litter.
So we talked about it earlier about maybe Harley being on the back foot a little bit, and Kyle was doing everything he could to try to stay with those Indians at the front. But these guys have made a huge step forward, and it is literally making the pace that much faster. And for Herfoss, Greg, back to your point in that challenge race, he did fall over. This is his first time back on that bike as well, so it's a bit of a feel-out process on what he is trying to get underneath him on that bike. Great stuff here from Tyler O'Hara. Really love seeing Tyler in that third spot at the moment. And let's see now if Gillum can draft past his teammate down this back straightaway. The first Harley-Davidson right now is that of Bradley Smith that you see there in fourth, and then it's going to be Rispoli behind him, as you're going to see this Harley go right across the ground right there, Greg. Kyle Wyman gets into the last corner a little bit too fast and just gets it a bit wrong.
So Hayden Gillum on the 69, right part of your screen, live pictures, not able to get a good drive off the final corner. Still able to be real close to his teammate. And these J&P Cycle, Motul Vance and Hines Factory Indian Challengers have started to eke their way away from the rest of the field. The question now is, does Hayden Gillum have something? And there's Kyle Wyman.
Still there.
Just can't get that bike out of the kitty litter. I mean, that stuff is deep for a reason, to slow down cars and motorcycles that race. Let's get to the third member of our broadcast team, Hannah Lopa.
I checked in with Troy Herfoss, and while he's still on an Indian motorcycle, he's on a new team for him this season. He said the bike feels essentially brand new, but it has such good power. He did mention that the former package of the team really kind of influenced the bike build and setup for this Indian motorcycle this season. So he's still trying to get acquainted with the bike, get comfortable on it, and really understand how things are feeling and make it feel like his bike. But he's really excited about the prospect of the potential this season. He also mentioned that he knows Hayden Gillum right now, his teammate, is just on another level. He is so quick, so he's definitely wanting to stay out in front of him right now and try and control the pace of this race, because I think he suspects that if Hayden can get around him, there's a good chance he's going to try and leave.
129.3, fastest lap for Troy Herfoss. Is he slow playing us in the media about how he feels about Hayden Gillum, kind of deflecting some of the attention from himself to his teammate?
I really don't think so. I think Troy's a really honest guy. He's just a good guy, and he gave Hayden a lot of praise at Daytona, if you remember right, after that second race, and so Troy's just a good dude, and he realizes that Hayden right now, and Hayden proved it even yesterday, Greg. He came out of the box, and I know you got a chance to talk to him, and he said he was 13 mile an hour quicker down the back straightaway than last year's bike, as we covered in our opening. That's a big deal, and Gillum also does double duty. He's riding super bikes as well. They're at 29.6 that last lap, and we know that Hayden's capable of getting into the 28s.
Yeah, he qualified at a 127.669. Did the number 69. That's J&P Cycles Motul Vance and Hines Factory Indian Challenger. By the way, the base of these motorcycles, same ones you see at the dealership.
And when you look at Bradley Smith, there has moved into third on that Harley-Davidson. He's got by Tyler O'Hara. You just kind of feel like Hayden's sitting on Troy at the moment, just kind of watching things. And the pass, if it's going to be made, is going to be clean. There's a lot of mutual respect between these guys. So I think that the pass that Hayden will make will be definitive, but it'll be clean. He'll make sure to do it in a spot that isn't going to disrupt Troy too much.
But Troy also races. Troy races wide.
He does.
He doesn't leave a lot of opportunity for people to pass him. It's like you're going to have to make a decision early on, because Troy Herfoss has the ability and the experience. 3-time Australian Superbike champion is Herfoss, and he knows how to do it. So there's the opportunity. Go around the outside, go up the inside, and now Herfoss lost position.
And really, let's be honest, if Troy now can get stuck in behind Hayden, you kind of see some of the things that Hayden's doing a little bit different. they haven't been really close on track all year long. I mean, Hayden in race 1 at Daytona checked out, and you almost got to just take Daytona off the thing. You see these bikes broad sliding on the way out, right?
Gorgeous.
But you know, when you have a guy like Troy Herfoss, when he has a teammate in Hayden Gillum that he's got right now, he's going to be trying to look and see what he can change to tweak his riding style or emulate a little bit more of what Hayden's doing, and it's going to give him a lot of confidence. And you see Hayden get that bike sideways at the top of the hill also.
That's a tricky spot, and you can see Herfoss going through a little bit of dirt. That's going to slow him down. But where Hayden Gillum was, the crest of that hill, that was a dangerous spot for him.
But by opening up the top of the hill and having the bike a little bit sideways, you see what it did through those S's. It straight lined those S's a little bit more for Hayden. And the gap that he pulled away from Troy, just in those little 3 quick little left, right, left configuration at the top of the hill there, that really allowed Hayden to pull away just ever so slightly. And then when you're in Troy's position right now, your whole goal is to not lose this draft. And right now he's a little bit too far back to get it. And it really happened in a technical side of the track. He'll go back and see that, and he'll learn from it and try to make things better for himself.
So Hayden Gillum with the fastest lap of the race so far with 4.5 laps to go, a 129.266. We told you in qualifying he was in the mid-27s. So we've seen Hayden Gillum sector 1, fastest split, but he didn't light up the Christmas tree in sector number 2. And he's allowing his teammate Troy Herfoss to get locked in. And Herfoss really aggressive with the throttle and using just the great handling of the Indian Challenger motorcycle to his benefit, and really putting on a dirt track style show here on this Mission King of the Baggers.
But see, like right there, Hayden's able to keep this bike a little tighter. He opens that up a little bit at the top of that hill, and then through this little section, the back and forth of what the 69 is doing over the 17. Let's just look at this first split and see what it is. Troy was only 2/10 off his best lap of the race, which he ran very early in this. So as they get ready to go through this split 1, it's going to be popping up on my screen here. It's a 34.6 to a 34.8, 2/10, and that's the fastest split that we've seen from anybody, meaning that Hayden Gillum is on a fast one right now.
Let's talk about UK's Bradley Smith, of course, on the Harley-Davidson Dynojet Factory Racing machine. He has set his fastest lap of the race, but he's still a couple, 2.5 seconds adrift of these riders. And in Bradley Smith doing a 129.5, not really gaining any ground on Hayden Gillum, who was doing a 129.2, and pretty dead even with Herfoss.
Yeah, Troy's locked in right now, and this is exactly what you'd expect from a champion like him. You know, that when you look at those splits, Greg, as Greg points out to me, fastest second split of the race belongs to the 17 of Troy Herfoss. So he's got into the back of Gillum, seen some things that maybe he's being able to apply as you get back to looking here at Bradley Smith. Right now, Harley's only hope running in third. They've pulled away from Tyler O'Hara, who is still continuing his battle, but he's back in 5th now as Rocco Landers has come through to 4th. Rocco just does his fastest lap of the race on his last lap. So at a 29.4.
129 flat for Herfoss, fastest lap of the race so far. As we continue to look at Bradley Smith, 129.5 to a 129.6, the last 2 laps for Smith. And Rocco Landers, who really, he put on such a great show early on in the weekend, was second qualifier, has not had the race he wanted.
Yeah, and he's 2.6 back, and he's gone 29.4 is his fastest, but he went 30.4 the last one, a full second slower. That was probably trying to get in and through past Tyler O'Hara. That's why there might have been a second difference. I'm really curious what's going on with Rocco, especially at the start. He's having trouble getting that bike off the line. It was the same thing at Daytona. He just struggled getting that bike off the line, Hannah.
Rocco told me when I talked to him earlier that this has been his best weekend so far on the bagger, especially here at Road Atlanta, a track that, you know, he hasn't had great success at in the past. And it's because it's one of the first weekends for him to only be racing the bagger. So it's so nice to concentrate all of his energy on one class. He did mention he's really wanting to work on his corner exits as far as the way he's riding the bike and the way the bike feels. So I'm sure there will definitely be some time for reflection after this race, and he'll improve some more tomorrow.
That was a look at Tyler O'Hara in 5th place, 3-time winner. Back up we go, and bang, just like that, 29.4s apiece for your leaders. But Troy Herfoss on the back of that 29 flat. Now, these are quick pace. The lap record in a race is a 128.9 by Kyle Wyman last year in the challenge race. So these, Troy Herfoss has only gone 1/10 of a second off of the race lap record set by Kyle Wyman last year. And Herfoss, with that 128.5 qualifying time, like, he's good around here. Hayden Gillam's pole position was a new track record for Mission King of the Baggers for qualifying time. So, I know what we look at it. Some racetracks are like, no, the only track records are actually in a race.
He's got his teeth in him right now, though. He's picked up on a couple of things. It's still going to be at the top of the hill that I think Troy will go back and reflect on and say, okay, I got to work on something up there to make it a little easier for me to get through, because he is now starting to see that he can run the pace with Hayden Gillam, and all the praise that he's given Hayden, he's not letting him get away at all. And I'll tell you right now, if he can somehow figure out a way to stick on the back of the 69 through that top part after turn 1, that turn 2, 3, 4 area, if he can get close enough, he'll be close enough to do something with him down into turn 10 on what will be our final lap the next time they come through there, because he's on the back of him.
Herfoss has been really good at the exit of turn number 10 and all the way through here. He's gained some time on Hayden Gillam. So when they come across the stripe, it's white flag, 1 lap to go. 29.4, 29.4, 29.4 for Bradley Smith, chasing 2.9 seconds back. His fastest lap of the race, but he's not going to be a factor on this final lap unless something goes dramatically wrong for these two.
This is the spot. It's going to be the exit of this right. Hayden's able to get out of there a little bit more. See how Troy's bike gets out to the edge of the track too much, which makes the turnover back to the left a little harder. So Hayden's bike just goes through that little area a little bit better. Troy's bike seems a little bit heavy to me. That's why that gap gets made. Now from this point on, Troy's using Hayden as a bit of a carrot. He'll break a little bit deeper into here. Then he'll try to suck up a little bit into turn 7. But he's just not quite close enough to get in the draft. See how early Troy's turning it in? That's because he's getting in there deep. But look at Hayden with the drive out.
Yeah, that was big difference on the drive for the 69 as the teammates on the J&P Cycles Motul Vance & Hines Factory Indian team on this final lap. Troy Herfoss trying not to give victory to his teammate Hayden Gillam as they go down the back straightaway. The last lunge into turn number 10. Herfoss closes up, but no room to pass. And now the drive up the hill. Herfoss has been really good right here. He pulls the trigger. He comes up right on the rear wheel, but no. One more shot down the hill they go. Hayden Gillam, mid part of the track, trying to block that inside line through the final corner. He makes it stick. He gets on the gas, and Hayden Gillam to the line is going to take victory here at Road Atlanta by 1/10 of a second over his teammate Troy Herfoss. And Bradley Smith flying the Harley-Davidson flag on his Harley-Davidson Dynojet Factory Racing Road Glide will stand on the podium looking up at 2 Factory Indian motorcycles. Landers, O'Hara, and Rispoli, with Jake Lewis in 7th on the 85. All the pressure given to him. 29.7, 29.6. for those two on the last lap, and they had a variation, JP, in lap times that was just about 0.6 of a second total. Consistent, fast riding from these guys.
Yeah, Hayden Gillam won this race, and he has been the guy all weekend. Troy Herfoss, though, is going to come into tomorrow, I think, with a lot of confidence. He's going to go with his team and try to figure some stuff out. And for Bradley Smith, really there at the end of the race, Greg, he really did kind of step up. He was 3.3 back. Bradley was back behind those guys early. So now it's going to be a matter of how can he get up closer to these guys at the beginning to try to do something with them, and Rocco as well. I think for Rocco, 29.4. I mean, Greg, he was only 0.4 off the fastest lap of the race, but he had to come from so far back to do it.
The question for Troy Herfoss, Jay, I think, is when you look at where you need to improve on the racetrack, that turn 2 area is not easy. It's super technical. Yes. It's very precise. And Hayden Gillam's been doing it the whole weekend. So in the warm-up tomorrow, and keep in mind here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, we have that quiet time, so which is between like 10:30 and noon. No race engines allowed. So you don't have as much warm-up time as you might have in other races, other racetracks. But if you're Troy Herfoss and you're going, okay, I need to improve on this, you're going to have very limited time to start sorting it out. And it's kind of risky.
Experience, though, right?
Yeah.
He's an experienced guy, and he's seen the track now. So, I mean, he's been here for a few years, so he knows the place.
Yeah, he's won here before.
And,
that's Herfoss.
But man, take nothing away from this guy. Love seeing Hayden Gillam We've seen him struggle. Even though he's a bagger champion, we've seen him struggle over the years in baggers, and now he's got a weapon underneath him with that Vance and Hines Indian.
He's going to do a burnout for the fans. We're going to get to talk to him in his first Mission King of the Baggers victory here at Road Atlanta when we return.
Do it.
Tear it down.
Nice.
Build it up. Because the bike you make your own is always a classic. J&P Cycles. Building by your side since 1979.
Built to get more out of every mile. For what you pull, what you haul, and what you refuse to leave behind. When the load gets heavy, you don't back off. You push forward. Trusted for generations, because performance matters. More air, more power, more response. Engineered for the demands of diesel drivers. Ready for wherever the road ends. K&N Performance Diesel.
What a race we had at Mission King of the Baggers. Race number 1 of this weekend for them. Of course, they get 2 races. And the factory Indian motorcycle team dominates with Hayden Gillum, Troy Herfoss, just a 1/10 of a second between them. Bradley Smith, great job by him. Put that Harley Davidson on the podium. As for his teammate, the number 1 plate ended up in the kitty litter on this one. So Kyle Wyman and Max Flinders DNFs in this race, with Kyle Ohnsorg not starting the actual race. So as celebrations happen, let's get to Hannah with our 3rd place finisher.
Bradley Smith back on the podium, and after being quite close so many times, this one's got to feel pretty good. Take us through your race. It was quite lonely out there toward the end.
It was a little bit, but yeah, like you said, to get 2-4 like I did in Daytona, miss out by like 0-1, I was like, man, I want some champagne. I want a trophy to take home. So pumped that we were able to get this for the team. Shout out to our competitors. You know, they're doing a tremendous job. They started the season extremely strong. Both riders are riding great. So it's definitely lifting our game, and we'll go to work tonight, see what we can bring to the race tomorrow. Hopefully the cooler conditions help us. You know, as an air-cooled engine, we need a little bit of that fresh air, but happy with the podium and smiles on our face.
Well done. Thanks, Bradley. Guys.
Yeah, and you know, look, best time to best time. Bradley Smith really, for a race winner, best time 1:29.2, Smith 1:29.4, so not too far off. Just got to put the whole race together for the Harley Davidson team, and yeah, they're definitely going to go to work. Back to Hannah with 2nd place.
Troy Herfoss, 2nd place today. You got a heck of a launch there. Tell me the difference between managing the beginning of the race with Hayden behind you and how you manage the end of the race trying to get back out ahead of him.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting year. I got to race Hayden probably then. That's the first time since I've joined the team that realistically I was in a race with him. Man, it was so much fun. I just had so much fun. The bike's working so incredibly well. I'm just so proud of the whole Vance and Hines team. They just put so much work in, and they're open to change, and it's just really, I'm finding it a lot of fun so far. And yeah, it's not always easy, but that's what makes it more rewarding, and I'm just so proud of the guys. And Hayden, hats off to him. I have a lot of respect for him as a rider, and he showed once again why he's going to be the guy to beat.
What's the dynamic under the canopy like now, being new teammates with someone you were such relentless competitors with, especially last year?
Well, it's tough. Yeah, no, it was the same with Tyler. Tyler was so fast when I joined the team, and yeah, it's always the same in any team. But I did establish one thing in 2024 when I moved to America to race, and that's that Hayden was a very talented rider. And so, as always, show every rider with as much respect as possible. But for now, I just want to enjoy this with the team and and Hayden. And if we get to a point in this year where we have to sort this out, then we'll sort it out then. But right now, we're just so proud to be part of this team and part of the adventure.
Thanks, Troy. Guys.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about that attitude? And fastest lap of the race, 129 flat, just a 1/10 of a second off the track record for Herfoss. He raced as hard as he could, but team dynamics is always something you got to take into consideration. The problem is when you have a nice guy like Troy Herfoss and a nice guy like Hayden Gillum, how do you develop drama inside the team? Well, I suppose a 1/10 of a second victory helps, and Hannah's with him now.
A very solid performance from you. You've been the guy to beat all weekend long. What is it that's working so well for you with this motorcycle?
I don't know, honestly. The thing is just, this Indian Challenger is just really good. And so far this season, everything's been clicking. And yeah, after the COTA test, after Daytona, I was ready to go. I was kind of tired. I didn't want to sit around like we did. And man, just to come out like we have this weekend is just really cool. It's so awesome for the whole JMP Cycles, Motul, Vance Nines guys. You know, having Mike Kennedy here is really cool, being able to do this with him and Terry on site and doing it with the family and everybody, which now my son's screaming, but everything's just going so good. I'm just having a fun time and getting to battle with Troy. This is what we've talked about it since he got over here, and so now we're actually getting to do it. And like you said, it's not going to be able to be so nice as the year goes on, but right now it's nice.
Congrats, Hayden. Great job today, guys.
Outstanding run for Hayden Gillum, and he takes that victory by a 1/10 of a second. And then Bradley Smith back there. Lap times are really close, so we're going to see. And Rocco Landers, expect him to be in a different frame of mind tomorrow because he has been fast all weekend. Something just didn't feel right, I would imagine, on the motorcycle when he started the race. O'Hara, Rispoli, Lewis, and Corey West. So we also expect the #1 to be back on it. Tomorrow, we're going to do it again for Mission King of the Baggers. Then we go to Road America, Laguna Seca, Mid-Ohio, Circuit of the Americas, and we finish off the season at an unpredictable weather-wise from Jersey Motorsports Park. And it's going to be a fantastic 2026 season continuing to roll forward. Well, we hope you enjoyed that race action. We certainly did. We certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jason and Hannah, I'm Greg. We get to do it again tomorrow from Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Can't wait to see you then. Have a good night.
Mission King of the Baggers is brought to you by Mission Foods, the world's leading brand for tortillas and wraps. By Drag Specialties, an industry-leading distributor of aftermarket parts and accessories for Harley-Davidson, Indian, and custom V-twin motorcycles. By Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series.